Yo, what up, what up, what up? It is Ted here with Bodies and Wicks with another quick edition of technical analysis. And technical analysis on the fly. I don't know what I'm calling this thing just yet, but I'm trying to shorten the videos by giving you really quick little technical analysis on just uh, uh, one piece of whatever you want to call it, I guess. One equity, I guess. So one cryptocurrency. This one we're doing on Ethereum. We're gonna do it on Ethereum really quick. I'll go ahead and flip it over to the browser as soon as, you know what, I forgot. I accidentally shut this thing down, and now nothing's going to come up. And there we go. Okay, now I've got it all set up. So flipping it over, this is your monthly looking at Ethereum. So what I'm looking at here is this big blue box down here at the bottom. What Price likes to do is Price likes to find balance and liquidity. So any of you who prescribe to the retail theory, you might as well turn the channel off because you're not going to like what I have to say. There's no such thing as trend lines. There's no such thing as channels. There's no such thing as harmonic patterns. And none of that crap exists, all right? What does exist is the algorithm that the people that have all the money have. They can impose the algorithm at any time. They know exactly what they're doing with the algorithm, and it's up to you to find the trails that those rich people leave. So, since this isn't balanced down here, that's the only worry that I have. And that's anywhere between the 700 and about 1200 area. It's when we had that huge, all of a sudden, just huge jump. That's about the only worry I have, that we could possibly fall back into that area. But even if we did, we would have to watch closely to see if we're going to just, skim the top of it, which is what these fair value gaps hopefully are meant to do, or if we're going to try to dig deeper. And so, but we're not actually really close to there at all. So we're actually fairly balanced up here. We actually just had something happen. I really can't tell you what it's called because I'm under a contract through my mentor. I really can't tell you what this is called, but when this price fell to this level, it did something very good, actually, and it basically rebalanced what was happening. So we are on a rebalance right now. So now that we are done with the monthly, we can go ahead and get a little bit closer and take a look at the weekly. All right, so now we are at the weekly, and as the price comes down into this area, you have what that has called these order blocks, right? So these two small red candles, and you have the big green candle that basically overtakes both of them, engulfs both of them, actually. So since both of these, since this engulfs both of them, technically these are considered order blocks. You could consider the lower one the order block, but since they're both together, or since they're both next to each other, I like to consider the higher one the order block. You draw a line from the top of the wick all the way across. That is your order block. As soon as price comes back down and touches that area, it is expected to bounce the other way. Now, it can take time to drive through it and go, further down, but that's going to take some time, especially since it's this reaction here that we had this past week. I mean, bounced just right off of it and then went on back up. It also went through this fair value gap here that I had just clicked on. So it went straight through the fair value gap, bounced off the, I want to say it was directly the middle of this what do you call it? The order block. Maybe not. Maybe it got really close. Would that be the middle right there? Yeah, that would be the middle of that order block. So considering it didn't, oh no, well, yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, considering it didn't hit the middle, but it got very close. So that's the thing. If it gets close to the middle of an order block, but doesn't exactly get there, or it does get there, or it just passes it and turns around and goes back the other way and leaves a wick like this, that is a good sign. A very, very good sign. Didn't mean to move that. Let me go back. Okay. So now that we have seen that, let's dig a little bit closer in. Let's go to the daily. So now that we have seen this push all the way down, right? We have seen this come back up. You can see that this is all balanced as well. There's no fair value gaps in between here. There's a small one here, but nothing. But to be honest, that would be a good thing, because that would mean price would be attracted to go higher. Because right now we are in an order block. We would have to get closer in to find that. I believe I found that in the 15-minute. Maybe in the 15-minute or the hourly. Either way, yeah, both of these. So we have two order blocks in this formation here, which this formation happens a lot. And the reason it happens a lot is because this is the formation where it gets everybody to start buying, right? And then it gets to a height, and then it starts falling, and everybody gets scared and they start selling. And then it gets to a certain point, and then everybody gets scared and they don't know what to do, while the rich people sit back and laugh at everybody and start buying up at a certain point. And that is what I'm trying to teach you here, is where that point is, right? So that point would be generally anywhere below, you know, the typical 61.8% line. So it's right about where it is now, so it's about to bounce off of it. However, I do believe it might go a little bit further and push through it, just because that's a little bit too obvious, and it might jump all the way down to here, to around the 79%. That's about the one you see the most common of. If it really gets excited and it really wants to make some money, it'll jump down to this 88.6, which I'm looking over here at this this area right here. I'm not seeing much happening at the 88.6 that would cause it to have a jump at that level. It's just a little bit of downward price action, which, I mean, I guess, no, not really. I don't really know. Yeah, I guess you consider all this the order block, which is why I put the line there. Yeah, that would be considered an order block. Yeah, as you can see, if we look at it a little bit closer, you can see after it did jump above and start falling, right? It did, the red candle here did touch it. If I go like this, like I should do, honestly, it was a little bit too flat there. Sorry, guys. You can see that this red line here comes down, and you have these two green candles, you know, overtake these two red candles. So that would make this the order block. As it comes down, it almost touches it. It doesn't exactly, now that I've got it off, you know, not flattened out. And then this takes off, which would actually mean this would also be an order block as well. So this right here, right at the 79%. I mean, it couldn't get any closer than that. Right at the 79%, there is another order block. But also, it's also within this fair value gap. So it would not surprise me at all if we see the price fall to this 79% order block right around the 1990 area. So that's where you would see that happening at 19. I mean, and the 79% says 1991, 33. So trying to figure out where we're at. There we are. Here, I'm gonna scrunch it together a little bit so it's not taking up so much time. And let's see how far away we are from the actual. There we go. And didn't mean to move that. That's the only thing about flattening these things out is sometimes you actually just grab the part that you don't want and you miss the part that you do want. Okay. Moving it along here. Wish there was a way to. I guess this is there. Okay, I went the opposite way. Oops. Guess I could have done this a little bit quicker. I have them both marked here as order blocks. Just think of a third one as the order block as well. Make sure the coordinates are correct so it's a straight line. There we go. So look, as you can see, it has entered the order block, or not the order block, the fair value gap. Looks like it is trying to bounce out, but I have a feeling this is going to continue downward. If anything, I'll try to give an update later today on where we are at with this. The best thing to try to find if we are going to go higher, see if we have any equal highs. Looks like we kind of do. I mean, this area through here, it looks like it would produce some liquidity, but then again, there's also a fair value gap here that could prevent that. So if you have this down to here and you have this going over, as you can see, this already came back up into this area. Boom, fair value gap knocked it out. And looks like the same thing probably happened here. We went from here to here. I don't know if a fair value gap would have even formed there. Got to the top of it, got knocked out. I wouldn't even count that because it looks like it just ran along the fair value gap, tried to jump up above it, but then got pushed back down. So it's looking for lower prices is what that's telling me. Telling me it's looking for lower prices, these fair values, because usually once I get above the fair value gap, then that acts as support. But considering this isn't acting as support and it's pushing further down, it's looking like it's looking for lower prices, unfortunately. Looks like there may be some fair value gaps through here, so it could push up, but then struggle right around around the 2300 mark, somewhere around there, before it starts to fall again. Also, you do have a, I guess, somewhat of a breaker block here. You have a high, a low, and then a lower high, right? So this down candle right here is going to be kind of an arch nemesis in our way. Going straight across, that is going to act as resistance right there as well. So I can update you on later on. I just did one on Bitcoin. I'm going to try to do quite a few of these today. That way I can get many people up to date on what is going on, and we'll see how many we can get through, and that way people can get educated and updated on what I believe is going to happen. But again, unfortunately, like I said, I think this looks like it may, especially with the setup that it has, this looks like it has a potential to go lower. How much lower? I'm not for sure. Hopefully not much further past than this 79% down here is what I'm looking at. So be prepared for possible 1990s, right? And that's all I got for you on Ethereum. So let's see here. Thanks a lot, you guys, for always checking out my channel, Bodies and Wicks. You guys are the best, and always remember to keep your pants on.